in my opinion, um, from my experiences of dealing with him in the past year and seeing some of the events the public is just now learning about now, I believe that it's part of a narcissistic personality disorder that's plaguing Gilbert Arenas, in my opinion. I don't understand why he's so angry all the time. And, on Fubu Sports, who he just re signed for a major new deal, renewing his contract and everything. And, I'm quite sure they're probably not aware of his activities that he's done in the past years, but that's kind of weird to me that they would know something like that and would approve of that behavior and go ahead and gift this man money. You know, he's a very dangerous human being, in my opinion. Based on the things he's told us that he's actually been a part of in the past, and the way he sends threats out to people, even to this day. You got to take it when someone like Gilbert Arenas makes those kind of threats. You have to take it serious. The man has money, he has resources, he's dangerous, he sends threats. You got to take it very seriously. And I don't understand why people are upset with Kwame Brown saying anything, because all he's doing is standing up to a tyrant, standing up to a bully. I got to check my anxiety levels, and make sure I'm okay, because at any given moment, I don't know what this man might do, so I always have to be on alert. He's a very dangerous man, a man with power and resources like that. There's no telling what he could do. So you just have to always keep your head on a swivel. But another thing is, why do people have to live like that? I'm very surprised that these people are, financing his activities. I don't know if they're aware of it, but to me, I just found that to be pretty strange, in my opinion.
What is your personal issue with me? He don't have one. That's why he can't.
You talk too much for one. How can I say
okay, cool.
issue if you won't shut your goddamn mouth? And that's one of the problems. You try to sound all smart. Everybody on the internet know the personal issue. Everybody on the internet know the personal issue. Everybody on the internet know the personal.
A guy that you guys go back and forth like a lot now on social media. Gilbert Arenas.
I don't want to talk about that guy. He mentioned putting a pistol to my throat, and I think if I was white and the media was really the media and the police really did their job, see, they expect us to talk like that. If I was to threaten a white guy like that and say, you're going to put a pistol to your throat, what would you think that happened? So I'm not going to play games or even talk about a clown like that. So, I think he's what's wrong, and I think he's definitely what's wrong with our community because he's a coward. But to actually say that on camera, knowing that there would be no ramifications for it, you think Gilbert Arenas would say that to JJ Redd?
And, everyone is like, why is Kwame doing that and bringing that up? Well, many of you never probably heard Gilbert's been threatening this man over and over again. I mean, we have DM messages of threats from Gilbert Arenas. And it has been going on for a year. I just hope, he finally stopped. But this guy would go on low-tier YouTube channels and, quote unquote, sponsor them, fly these guys out. And these guys like to show people's dead relatives and parade them around as if it's a joke. And Gilbert Arenas finances these guys. He gives them opportunities to make money to try to get back at Kwame Brown. It is unbelievable. And to me, a guy with that kind of resources and money, he's a dangerous human being. But you got to think, what is the mindset and the psyche of a man who would neglect his children on Christmas and shun them off just to go on a live stream so that he can berate his former teammate for no reason, who's not even talking about him. He wants to keep doing it and go on there and keep bringing up stuff. It's like, why? What is the point? Over a girl? Kwame dated a girl years ago. I guess Gilbert wanted her, and now he has the girl because Kwame's no longer with her, and he's still not satisfied. It's like he wants to continue, it's like he's asking her questions about Kwame allegedly, and am I better than him now? It's sick. And there's some type of psychological problems going on there. I'm not a doctor, so I can't medically assess what he's going through, but I wish he gets some help, because no one's going to step in until something bad happens, and that's when it's going to make the big news. But it's like, why does it take that to happen before someone says, what's going on here? Why is this happening? No. They give that man a platform because they act like they don't know. It's like they want to see this happen or fall out. Then they'll come in and start telling people who's right and who was wrong, and, well, we didn't know all this was happening, and this wasn't on our news. You knew. You just didn't care until it got to a point where it becomes front page newspaper. Somebody gets hurt. Then everybody's going to start caring. Why should it have to come to that dynamic in order for someone to do the right thing? I just think, it was a live stream he was on one of the low tier YouTube channels he appears on. A multi-million-dollar NBA player going to a low tier YouTube channel, a channel that has like 200 views, like on video. You're going to go on their platform to try to berate your former teammate in the NBA. Who does that? And then you hear his daughter venomously yelling at him, and they're having a conversation where he's using profanity and everything towards his daughter, and all she want to know is, why are you always late picking us up? Because you're on this internet, you're on this phone. He's not even getting money from this. So it's like, what are you doing? It's a terrible, very terrible situation. I feel for Kwame Brown to have to go through this type of harassment, because in my personal opinion, in my opinion only, I feel that because of Gilbert Arenas, more harassment has come towards Kwame Brown with the, people getting his phone numbers, was leaked on the internet, address, and people who are harassing him, flying drones over his house. I think all of this, in my opinion, is being financed and is being instigated by Gilbert Arenas, in my opinion. So when you have this unchecked, aggressive attitude, it is very, how can I put this? It's very telling. In other words, it's very telling, like, where you're going to be and where you're going to end up and how you're going to probably, be in the next 10 to 15, 20 years of your life. This is where you're going to be, alone, miserable, looking at others, envious. These type of things, these type of traits, they talk about people like this. When people don't grow up, the Peter Pan syndrome, and And it's like the most dangerous thing you could do is just give that man money. Keep giving him money. It just feeds the problem. It's not helping the situation. So I just think people need to, at least intervene, have an intervention with him, and try to find out what's really the problem here. Because it's unhealthy. It's really unhealthy. I'm like, dude, I don't have a problem with you. My whole problem is your attitude of, the way you conduct yourself as a man. I have a problem with that. The things of what you're doing, and it's cancerous to actual people in general. So it's a bullying tactic. It's just trying to be something that you're not. Why would you become a multi-million-dollar NBA player to try to prove you're this tough guy? You went to school with the Kardashians. It's like, dude, stop. You're not a gangster. Why would you want to be? Why would you want to portray that, to the rest of the world? It's nonsense. So for a former NBA player to be honored by the Washington Wizards after what he done to tarnish his name in the NBA, to be accepted back into the family, the circle, and everything, and then right after that, you go right back to attacking your former teammate of that team, showed you have no growth in you whatsoever. No growth. Can you imagine if Caron Butler knew all of this was still going on, how bad it really was? What would have happened if Antoine Jameson really was focused in on Gilbert's activities over the past 6 months? That would have never happened. But we didn't, I wouldn't go out my way to say, hey, Jameson, look at Gilbert. I wouldn't do those type of things to try to mess him up, because I don't look at it that way. I'd rather him get help, because they they know what's going on. Trust me, they know. But is FUBU Sports gonna get involved and say, Gilbert, we need to talk to you? Is the Washington Wizards, Caron, is Antoine Jameson gonna sit down with him? Because somebody somewhere is telling them this is going on. They know. They just choosing not to get involved. But then when something happens, that guilt is going to start spreading to people when they know they could have gotten involved and stopped all the nonsense. They could have stopped it. But when you stay silent and don't do anything, don't act, this is what happens. This is the behavior problems that we were talking about, and the accountability that they keep preaching. That why are these young kids harming each other and doing all these? Well, who are their mentors? Who are the people that supposed to be leading the way? Where are they at? Who are they?
I don't need sympathy. It's my story. I don't give a fuck about sympathy. I don't give a fuck about no sympathy. I didn't know that woman. I didn't do nothing with her. You fight over the black woman. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. You dirty nigga, I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
I didn't talk about you.
Fuck you and your opinion.
I didn't talk about you.
Fuck your whole bloodline.
I talk about you talking lady.
All right? You keep talking that shit, bring your ass to LA. Come here, hell, fuck you. No, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you. I bet you won't drop your location when you get it. I bet you won't drop your location when you get it. I bet you won't drop your location when you get it. I bet you won't drop your location when you get it. You talking that shit, drop your location when you get it.
And that kind of aggressive behavior is so unbecoming of Gilbert Arenas. It's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type personality. In 1 minute he's calm and fun and just joyful. Then he turns into this rageful, like I'm a gangster type of guy. And, he's a convicted felon, and we all know what he was convicted of. So you got to take, his threats a little serious. He would do something foolish and childish just to try to prove a point to that he down in the streets. And this is the type of mentality we try to teach the young folks to be above. But they got people like Gilbert to look up to, so that's that's his behavior and how he's been acting and performing. There's countless things that this person has done. He's actually taken credit for doing some heinous acts or having something to do or in part a concert with a certain individual who was dating his former fiance and mother of his children, and brags about an incident in which that person's home caught on fire. And he brags about that. That's a dangerous person. So, you can imagine anyone would want to be, want to feel safe, period. It's just like, this is a very dangerous man. And, people are on alert, they scared, they nervous, they're paranoid. It's a whole lot of things going on here that's unnecessary and it's unsafe, and there need to be some type of intervention, to try to get this man some help. That's what I think.
Like Carcino, that cartoon? You know the cartoon that got y'all all up and riled about? I made that 3 months ago. I got 16 more videos.
Why are you making cartoons? Why you post it though?
Right. Why I post it now? We told you.
After y'all just made truths.
I didn't. When did I make a truth? When was the truth?
I don't think we made a truth. On Sister T Live.
I didn't make no truth on Sister T Live. Nigga, I said there ain't gonna never be no another truth. Ain't no more truth.
All that you gotta do is apologize to my man Cino. He'll calm down on you, Gil. Just apologize to him. I can't lie.
Listen, you gotta. Listen,
Gil,
listen. Hold on. I don't listen to Listen, I'm not paying attention to Carcino because he can't save Kwame. He can't save, no matter what this nigga make up, he can't save Kwame. He can't save Kwame.
All you gotta do is come to Atlanta.
That's just a sample. I don't think I need to say any more now. I think people pretty much can get it from here. Like, if you've been around the past 6 months, it's been a lot of that going on. So it's been 6 months. It's been like a year. So definitely follow at Kwame Brown Bus Life. Follow this page. Support the page. Hit the Cash App up, which is Carcino. And we appreciate all the love and support to all the people out there. We just want everybody to be safe. Everybody can go about their way in their own life and do their own thing. We just want Gilbert to pretty much get some help. And hopefully he gets it. That's all. God bless y'all. Good night.